What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Brie Lachelle.
Them slick girls get me every time. Them slick girls could get every time. Them slick girls.
And as you can see from the title, we have a story time, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, I literally been planning this story time for like a few weeks now because I was just hesitant on telling it because I really don't remember every single thing that happened, because this did happen like, how old am I? This did happen like over 5 years ago now, so I wish I knew like every single detail that did happen and why it happened and stuff like that. And also, I don't have my old phone of like the receipts and stuff like that, so I had to log into my old Snapchat, which is what I did today. I was literally 5-6 years back in my Snapchat memories, literally trying to look for these freaking videos, and it's not even what I was looking for. I mean, I still have like some receipts, but it's not the real tea, because someone has stole my phone in like middle school, whatever. So that's actually a whole different story time, but it's not really like enough to do a video on it. Just somebody has stole my phone. I'm gonna get right into it. And yeah, so if you haven't watched my story time about my first school fight, then you just go watch that, because it's like, it's not a continuation, but it deals with the same people that was in that story time. So if you did watch it, for the people who was like OGs, because that was like the very first story time I told on my channel, we named the girl Dallas. So this is another story time about Dallas and her little relationship and stuff like that. And yeah, so we just gonna get into it. Okay, so a little background. So after me and Dallas fought, after we got sent to an adult school, so that's what it was like basically if you get suspended from school for fighting or drugs or alcohol, stuff like that, like you just have to go to like this little program for like 3 days or like 4 days or 5 days or something. It depends on what you do. So I think fights was like 3 days. If you did like drugs or something, if you got caught with drugs and stuff, you have to do 5 days, whatever. So anyway, so we was at the program, whatever. She apologized to me the day after we fought. She had told me like, oh, you know, just so you know, like, I am apologizing, blah blah blah, but my sister, she has a sister, so she was like, my sister can't see me talking to you, stuff like that. Like basically nobody could know on her side of the family that she apologized to me and that she talking to me and stuff like that, which was fine by me, because I mean, I didn't start it, y'all. Like, she wanted to fight me. But anyway, so she apologized, stuff like that. So I really don't know how we started being cool again. I know we was talking like at the program and stuff, but I don't know how we started talking like at school, because I know we was cool and stuff like that, but I don't remember how that really happened and stuff like that. So anyway, so when we had fought, Dallas was dating this boy. He doesn't really need a name because he's not relevant to this story. So she was dating this boy the time that we fought. Now the time I'm gonna be talking about in the story time, she was dating this other boy. So this is after we fought. I don't know how long this is after we fought. We had fought in like September. The title of the story took place in April, so I don't know when they started dating, but I just know they've been together for months. Like, they was like the school couple, stuff like that. And we gonna name her boyfriend, let's see what we gonna name him. I gotta give a name that fits his face, because yeah, let's see what we gonna name him. Okay, we just gonna name him Aaron. Okay, so his name is Aaron. So Aaron, he was really nice. I had class with him. I don't know how me and Aaron started hanging out and stuff like that. I mean, because I was, like I said, if you watch my other story time, everybody that at that middle school was all kind of cool with each other. Like I told y'all, like in last story time, like we wasn't close, but like we was like a little past associates. Like, I don't know, like I would hang out with them at the mall and stuff like that. Like if they asked or like wanted to go, or if they'll see me be like, oh, you want to come? I'd be like, yeah. So it was just stuff like that, but I really don't remember how we all started hanging out. But like I said in the last story time, I'm gonna keep referring back to last story time, because you have to know our history to understand what I'm talking about. So Dallas had these two friends, whatever. So one of the friends, he was the boy, and he was friends with, what I name him? Aaron. So he was friends with Aaron. So I already knew does the boy need a name? We just gonna name him Cashew. Just Cashew, just for this explanation. So I already knew Cashew. Me and Cashew was cool. We had class together. Like, that was really the homie. Like, we hung out after school. We went to the mall and everything. So hanging out with him, it wasn't a problem. Like, but Cashew hung out with Aaron. And Aaron was already cool and stuff like that. Like, it was no issue and stuff, because like I said, me and Dallas fought months ago, so everybody's past that situation. Like, it's nothing, it's no big deal. So me, Cashew, I don't remember who we were all with, but I know it was like a group of us. So me, Cashew, Aaron, and I think this other girl, I don't remember who we all used to be with, y'all. It was like a group of us, like maybe like 4 or 5, including me. So we all used to just hang out the mall, go to school, like walk home, like, cause everybody literally lived like door to door next to each other. So us all walking home together was like no big deal, because literally we lived that close. Like, our middle school was like right here. Everybody lived in like this neighborhood, like literally like so freaking close. Okay. So yeah, so we started hanging out, stuff like that. So boom, so now it's time for, this is April, so April is spring break. So alright, so at our middle school planned a trip to DC. It was like our school district, our entire school district, so the middle schools, they had field trips for spring breaks and stuff like that. Like, our school specifically, we went to DC and Virginia, and I know another school in our district, another middle school went to Florida, and then I think the other middle school also went to Florida, and then the other middle school had the chance to go to DC, I think it was, with us. I don't really remember. I just know our school went to DC and another school went to Florida. So, and we also did that like throughout the year and stuff. Like, I know if you were part of like the honors science classes, they went to Catalina Island and stuff like that. I think it was just for the weekend. And then also like Orlando too. So from Virginia, we were going to drive to DC. It was like Williamsburg, Virginia, and then we were going to drive to DC, which was only like, I think we were on that bus for like maybe 4 hours, maybe 2 hours. I know it wasn't like a super long drive, because we went to sleep and we woke up when we was there. We were going to be there from Sunday, I think, to, no, let me see, I think it was going to be from like Monday to Friday or something like that. We were going to be there because we left on a Sunday, I think. I was also in leadership in 8th grade. So in leadership, my teacher that was in leadership, she told me that she was like basically like letting me stay in and stuff like that, because my grades were good and I was a good student and stuff like that. But technically I was supposed to get kicked out of leadership, but she basically like asked if I could stay in and stuff like that, because you know, you got in a fight. I basically got suspended from school. Like, you know, I was supposed to be kicked out because it doesn't represent the leadership classroom, what you call them, characteristics. So yeah, so anyway, I was supposed to get kicked out, and since I got suspended, it was kind of already iffy that I was going on a field trip, because I mean, it was only like $2,000, but since, I mean, even though anybody could go on it, it was kind of like I had like a strike, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, I mean, we can let you go on a field trip, but like, you know, 8th grade was like a big year. 8th grade was like a senior year, because you know, 8th grade we had so many field trips. We had Disneyland, Catalina Island, the DC field trip, Catalina, Orlando, like all these big field trips and stuff like that. I didn't know who was going on the field trip. I just knew this one boy that was going on, and we just gonna name him Caesar, because yeah, I mean, he's not relevant to this story, but we're just gonna name him Caesar. So Caesar was like the homie, like we talked all the time, like, and I also knew some other people that was going, so it was gonna be lit. Like, I knew enough people to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm going on the trip. And to be honest, it was actually a lot of people that did go on this trip. Like, I didn't really expect that many people to go. Like, now that I think about it, it was like over 20 people that went. Like, I think it was like at least, I'm gonna say the most like 35, no, the most 40, but the least is like 35. So now we're gonna like fast forward to like actually us planning for the trip. So we gonna name my homegirl, we gonna name her Sarah. Okay, so Sarah, we hung out all the time. We the same zodiac sign. Like, that was really my girl. Like, we hung out at school, we hung out at after school, we went to each other's house, stuff like that. But she was also a very close friend of Dallas, but Dallas was not going on this field trip. So it was just gonna be, so the people that was going on field trip, it was going to be me, Sarah, what I named that boy, Caesar, and Aaron. So Aaron was going on a field trip because Aaron and Caesar were very close friends, and they were also friends with this other boy that's not relevant to the story. He doesn't really need a name, but basically his crew, Aaron's crew, was going on a trip, so he was there, and then my friends were there. So we planned on the trip, we planned for the trip, stuff like that. I'm packing, So this is the morning of the trip. It was like, I remember I had to get up at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, take a shower, brush my teeth, do my hair and all this other stuff. And I think I had packed already the night before, but y'all, we live so close to each other. I'm talking about, she told me like Sarah was picking me up because we were going to drive to the school, and you know, the school bus was going to take us to the airport, y'all know, stuff like that. So anyway, I got up in the morning, I'm gonna take a shower. I'm thinking, y'all, I was taking my sweet time for it. Like, I mean, not really my sweet time, but like, I thought I had more time than Sarah gave me. So I had got up, y'all, I'm talking about my foot barely touched the freaking bottom of the tub, and Sarah texted me telling me something, I'm outside. What do you mean you're outside? Like, y'all, that's just how close we all live to each other. Like, literally a second, she's outside. She's talking about I'm outside. So I literally jumped in the shower, jumped right out. Like, because I personally don't like to keep people waiting. Like, I didn't want to be like rude and be like, oh, I just gonna shower, so like just sit there and wait, you know. And it was already early in the morning. Like, I'm sure her mom went to go home and stuff like that. So I literally had to freaking jump in and jump out the shower. So we all excited and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna put the video right here of us walking to the school with our little luggage and stuff. Like, I was so excited. And also, not to mention, this is also my first time on a plane. Well, not like my very first time on a plane, because of course, like, you know, when I was a baby, basically to my remembrance of me being on the plane, this is my first time I'm actually going to remember me being on a plane, because of course I was on a plane when I was a baby, like 1-2 years old, but I don't remember that. So we get on the plane. I'm gonna put the little video right here. It was taking off, stuff like that. I mean, I wasn't scared. I actually like to take off. Like, I actually still do to this day. I like when the plane takes off. I do know we had 2 layovers. So we had a layover in Atlanta, so that was the very first stop. So we flew from LAX to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta we flew to Maryland, and then from Maryland I think we drove to Virginia, I believe. Yeah, Virginia was our very first stop. So we flew from Maryland to Virginia, and all this took like maybe like a whole day. I think we spent like the whole Sunday, like, you know, of course the layovers and stuff like that, so just traveling. So it was a vibe. It was cool. Everything was fun. Like I said, everybody knew everybody. It wasn't like we was all strangers. Everybody hung out with everybody. Everybody was cool. Now, I don't know the relationship between what I name him, Aaron. Why I keep forgetting his name. So Aaron and Dallas. What I do know is that, like, the time we were in school before the field trip, whatever, Dallas and Aaron were like, they were together, but like they would do stuff that was like, are y'all together? Are y'all not together? Like, it was just getting weird. Like, they would do stuff to like make each other mad, I guess I would say that. So Dallas would be flirting with this boy at school. He didn't really need a name, but Dallas was flirting with this other boy at school and stuff like that. And they will flirt all the time, y'all. Like, I'm talking about all the time. Like, you would swear that girl was single, and I think she was, but I mean, I don't know if they was breaking up, on and off, fake breaking up, because, you know, it's middle school, so it's like childish stuff like that. But I do know she would flirt with this boy at school, because people would talk about it and stuff like that. And it was also like literally in the center of like the quad, so you will literally see them talking and stuff like that, and flirting and stuff like that. So yeah, so at that time when it was the field trip, I don't know if they was like together, if they wasn't together for real. I do know they still mess with each other, but I didn't know if they were like super together. Okay, so we landed in Virginia, and I remember it being so freaking hot, y'all. Like, I didn't pack no shorts. Like, I literally packed pants, a jacket, multiple jackets. I packed, like, you know, of course, like the little regular t-shirts and stuff like that, like little tank tops and stuff. But like, it was just so freaking hot. Like, if I knew it was gonna be that hot, I would have bought pants. I mean, I would have bought some shorts or something, like some skirts. I don't think I bought no shorts or nothing like that. Maybe like one pair. I don't know. I highly doubt it. I'm pretty sure I only bought pants. But anyway, so we all had to share a room we had to share a room and stuff like that. It was 4 of us to a room. So when we got to the hotel room, I believe this hotel room was in Virginia before we drove to DC. But anyway, whether it was Virginia or DC, we all had to share a room. So it was 4 of us to a room. So it was me, Sarah. So it was me, Sarah, and then these other 2 girls that don't really need a name. I don't remember who was in our room, but I just know it was me and Sarah. Okay, I remember it was this other girl, but she's not relevant to the story, so she don't need a name. And then it was this other girl. I don't know who this other girl is, y'all, and I tried to look in my Snapchat memories and stuff like that to find the pictures and stuff. I don't know who was in our room, and I can't remember the girl name to save my life. But yeah, so we had to wake up. So we had to wake up at like early in the morning. I'm talking about like the booty crack of dawn, like 4 in the morning. Everybody had to take a shower. Everybody had to go downstairs. I think they was doing like a little breakfast and stuff like that, you know, for the people on the field trip and all that good stuff. So, and then not only that, but we also had to wake up because since we was in like, I think like a traffic area or whatever, like Williamsburg and then DC, like, you know, you got to be on the road early so we can get to our destination. Plus we had like the little tour guides and stuff like that. We visited the museums and all that other stuff. We just go fast forward to like 3 days, 4 days ahead, because I really don't remember what happened on each day that we were there. We were there for like 5 days, and it was like the girls and the boys were split. So of course the boys and girls weren't in the same hotel room. So it was like basically I was hanging out with my crew, and everybody just had their own little group, stuff like that. So boom. So we gonna fast forward to I think day 3. So day 3 was like we went to, I don't remember what mall this was, but I remember that mall was freaking big. Like I think the mall had like this grocery store in it or something like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it had like this grocery store in it, or we probably walked outside the mall and like went to this little grocery store. But anyway, I just remember we was like in this store, and so we was all like, you know, looking at the little makeup and stuff, making jokes, just all hanging out, having a good time. Like we're all like, what, 13, 14 years old. So we just chilling, and we out the state, like we literally across the freaking country. So like we trying to turn up. Sarah already knew Aaron. They were already close because like I said, so Sarah and Dallas were like really close friends. They weren't best friends because Sarah already had a best friend, but Sarah and Dallas were like both real close. They'll go to each other's house because I think they literally lived 2 houses in between from each other. Like they were like that close to each other. So yeah, so they were all cool, and like I said, me and Aaron also hung out, and it was me, Aaron, and like these other we all just hung out. Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't want to complicate stuff. So we all just hung out and stuff like that. So we was in there cracking jokes and stuff, and like, you know, in middle school you'll say like childish stuff, like make little jokes, like of course they're like little inappropriate jokes, like, you know, like people be cussing and stuff like that and saying the P word and the D word and the T word and stuff like that. So, you know, just all cracking jokes, but it was nothing like, nobody was flirting with each other. Nobody was like doing too much. So that's what I'm gonna say. So nobody was doing too much. So okay, fast forward again. So this is the next day. So the next day we actually went to this other museum. I think it was like a science tech museum or something like that, but I do remember it was in DC because we had ran into this other school. So these other schools, they of course they came from Florida. So we weren't the only school that did field trips for spring break. So we were there from, of course, California coming to DC, and like this other school was coming from Florida to DC, and then I think this other school had came from, I think they said Georgia or something like that to, you know, DC, stuff like that. So basically it was just all these other schools. So when we were running around, you know, of course the teacher's like, okay, now that we got the activity done, y'all can have like y'all free time until it's time to go. So we running around the freaking museum, exploring, basically just doing what kids do, having fun. And we run into this group of girls. So we run into these group of girls and these group of boys, but I think the boys was like, they went to go play, like it was like this little goggle game or something downstairs. So anyway, they left. So Aaron and his friends was all like, you know, they outside, like they trying to get the girls' numbers and stuff like that. So it was this one girl, I'm just gonna say the girl name, her name was Jessica. I don't know if that was her real name, because when it was me, Sarah, and like the people that was in our our hotel room, when we we were all right here. So like this is my group, and then this is they group, like the boys and stuff like that. So they ran into like the group of girls, so they sitting there talking, chatting, you know, cupcake and do all that stuff, talking to the group of girls, exchanging numbers and stuff like that. So Aaron, we was like, did you just get her number and stuff like that? Like, but we joking, like, we like, did you just get her number? Like, what was her name? I remember I asked him, I was like, what was her name? Like, do you even know her name and stuff like that? And he was like, yeah, her name. I was like, oh, he said guess or something like that. He was like, you can't guess her name. And I was like, is her name Jessica? He was like, what? He was like, there's no way. He was like, how'd you know? And I was like, that is not her name. He was like, yes it is. And I'm like, no it's not. And he's like, yes it is. He was like, that is her name, I swear to God. So I don't know if he was lying to this day. We just gonna say her name is Jessica because that's what he said, and she's not relevant. Well, she is relevant to the story, but yeah, so her name is Jessica. So yeah, so like I said, he was out there. Mind you, that wasn't the first time he like ran into like other people from different schools and stuff. Like we ran into other people at other locations and stuff like that, but we were not with the boys group often to know exactly what they were doing, what other girls they were talking to. I just know we ran into like this specific group of girls, and this was us visually seeing him, like, and they, you know, his group of friends, you know, flirting, getting their numbers and stuff like that. So cool. So they got the numbers, stuff like that. And y'all probably like, girl, what does that got to do with you? Listen. Jessica was not an ugly girl. Like, she was pretty and she was kind of tall and stuff like that, but mind you, she lived in Florida. So we was not taking this stuff like serious. Like, even them, they had said it, like the boys that went and got their numbers and stuff like that, like they was like, we from California, like we ain't never finna see you again. Mind you, we 13, 14. It's not like we could just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fly out there and come see you and stuff like that. Like, no, like we was not living like that. Like, and that was just very unrealistic. Like, we are in middle school. Like, he had got her number and stuff like that, but it was never that serious to where like it was like, we're gonna report this back to Dallas. So it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna report this back to Dallas because, oh my God, why are you getting girls' numbers and doing this and doing that? Like, it's, yeah. So anyway, so fast forward. So I remember this was us. We had to, so we're just gonna fast forward to the end. So the end, mind you, keep in mind he did get this girl's number, and only me and Sarah and the other two girls that were in our room saw it. Aaron is literally like, I mean, he's like begging Sarah not to tell Dallas. I keep wanting to say these people's real names, y'all, but he keeps like begging Sarah not to tell Dallas and stuff like that, which, mind you, like I said, we were all cool with each other, but I was not. Me and Dallas had just fought. We even before the fight, we was never like super close to the point where I'm like, I'm finna go tell her what you was doing because why you doing that, da 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 da. Like, no, that was Sarah. Like, Sarah and Dallas were like dang near sisters. Like, well, actually she already had, well, her best friend was her sister, but we gonna say they cousins. Basically they was like this, okay? They was road dogs. So Sarah's kind of like annoyed, irritated, kind of like why are you doing that, and da 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 da, like, no. And so his mood is kind of like bummed out, and like he's like, no, like, please don't tell her, like bro, like it was even serious, stuff like that, because they did literally say like she's in Florida, like they ain't never finna see that girl, stuff like. But I get it, like, you know, it's like, why you sitting here taking girls' numbers, like, and you supposed to be my mans. So anyway, but also then again, I don't know their relationship status because Dallas was flirting with people at school and stuff just to make him mad, and he will like tell me and the other people we hung out with and stuff like that and be like, bro, like she's weird and stuff like that, like why is she doing that, stuff like that. So basically they had like a little, what you call it, a little rocky road, whatever. They had a little friction within their relationship. So okay, so fast forward. So we're gonna fast forward to the day where we're about to leave and stuff like that. We're kind of sad, like, oh my God, I want to leave. I had so much fun. I ain't gonna hold you, I personally had a blast. Like, it was my first time seeing, I have pictures when we went to the Capitol. Like, we seen the Capitol. We have a picture, I have a picture in front of the White House, which I have to look so far deep into my devices to find that picture. I really don't know, but if I do find it, I will put it right here, which I probably won't. But yeah, so we saw the White House, the Capitol, I think like the Senate, maybe. We saw like the little, the Senate room. I think that's what it's called. And there's something else. If you from DC, you know that little, I forgot what it's called, but it's basically like the main figure that you see that you know you're in DC, and it has like all those what's it called? What's those flags? The American flag surrounded. So yeah, and I believe I have a picture of that on my phone, so I'll put it up here. So so we're all like, oh my god, I want to leave and stuff like that. So we're on the bus, we headed back to the airport, and he's talking about like, he's going like this, like, hey Brianna, like, can you ask Sarah, like, is she gonna tell Dallas? Like, he was asking that for 2 freaking days. Like, we like, bro, like, let it go. Cause Sarah had already was like, I'm not gonna tell her, like bro, like, relax, like, I'm not gonna tell her. But Sarah, she was gonna tell. We headed back to the airport. So we had, I don't remember where we had flew from. I think, so we get on the plane. We had flew from DC to, or did we drive back to Virginia? Whatever. We had flew from the East Coast basically to Denver, and we had a layover in Denver. And I remember our flight in Denver got delayed. This is around the time the Starbucks unicorn drink had came out. So I've never had the drink before. It was like, it was brand new. I think it had came out like a few days before we went on the spring break trip and stuff like that. So we were in the airport, so we like, bro, where's the Starbucks? Like, we finna go try the unicorn drink. By the way, that mess was so freaking nasty. Like, it was sour. It was like super sweet at the same time, and it had like a weird sour, sweet, grainy type taste to it. I didn't like it. But it also tasted like mango at the same time. Yeah, I didn't care for it. So anyway, so where we was and where our layover was, I mean, where where you board the plane, it was really far. Like, we literally, the Starbucks was on like the other side of the airport, so we had nothing but time, because like I said, our flight had got delayed. So we had ran all the way to the end of the freaking airport, and I think our flight got delayed by like an hour, maybe like an hour 40 minutes. So everybody just getting food, everybody down on the other side of the airport getting McDonald's, KFC, what other stuff, basically just eating and stuff like that. So mind you, we gonna call this girl, I need to give her a name because I feel like I have another story time with her, but I will have to check my Snap memories again because I really don't know. But what's a good name to call her? We gonna call her Maya. Okay, so me, Maya, and Sarah, we was gonna go to Starbucks. Now Maya wasn't in our hotel room, she was in the hotel room next to us with other people that we knew. So, and me and Maya, we were cool. I'm not gonna say we were like super close again, because I don't know how to describe it, y'all. It's like I talked to them, but like I didn't talk to them on that level to where I'll be like, yeah, like this is my road dog, because I hung out with other people. Like, you know, we didn't hang out with the same people for real. But anyway, we gonna call her Maya. And Maya was also a very close friend of Dallas. One of Aaron's friends had called Maya and was like, where are you guys? Like, you guys need to get back over here. Like, we're waiting for you because we're about to start boarding. We on the other side of the airport, y'all. We all there on the other side. So we like, oh, and like we literally book it, like we like, oh. What's that one Nicki sound? Like, yeah, that was us. So we sitting here running, like literally bumping people, like excuse me, trying to hurry up and run before we miss the flight, because y'all, what we gonna do if we get stuck in Denver? Like, what are we gonna do? By the way, our flight was at nighttime. We didn't land back in LA till like 8, so we're gonna say like 6. Okay, so we get on the flight, and I remember it was dark. So we get on the plane. Where I was assigned, I was sitting like in the back, but like since we're all on a field trip, mind you, it was other schools on that plane too. It was a very big plane. All the schools are kind of like sitting together and stuff like that. So our school was sitting in like one section, but like we didn't have assigned seats, so everybody was like kind of scattered, but at the same time like together. So it would be like a row of 4, and say it'll be like my school, somebody else's school, a stranger that was actually boarding the flight, and then another person from my school. So it was kind of like that. So I had a seat that was assigned all the way in the back, and I think the flight attendant had asked me, did I want to switch seats, or I think I had asked her, could I go to the front, because it was somebody in a row that wasn't sitting there. So mind you, what I named her, so Maya and her friends are sitting in the back, of the plane, kind of like they're in a few rows behind us. So the row that had the empty seat was Aaron. So Aaron had an empty seat on the flight. Aaron's row had an empty seat on the flight. So Aaron had the aisle seat. So it was Aaron, an empty seat, and then somebody from another school. So the flight attendant was like, yeah, you could sit right here. So I sit next to Aaron. Me and Aaron, we were not strangers. Like, we hung out all the time. Like I said, it'll be like playful flirting, but it was never like nothing serious, nothing like that. Like, it just never went that way. So anyway, so and plus we're in middle schools, they be saying like little, it's when you start cussing, saying inappropriate stuff and doing all that, doing that. So that's the way he flirted and stuff like that. So we were still on the plane, so he on the aisle, I'm next to him, and then Boyd over there. So the flight was only like maybe an hour or two, whatever, and we sitting there, he's going to sleep. So I remember he had tried to put his feet on me, and I was like, like, you need to back up. So he's sitting there slouching and stuff like that and trying to go to sleep, and the people in the rows behind us are going to sleep because, mind you, it's late and stuff like that. So he's going to sleep like this, like, so I'm right here. So this is him, like, he's like like kind of leaning on me, but not really leaning on me. And plus, by the way, like, if you ever been on a plane, and plus it's not like, your seat not like the premium stuff like that, the seats is kind of close and kind of small already. So him leaning like this, like, yeah, he in his seat, but he's on me kind of a little bit at the same time. Like I said, we were friends, so I didn't mind, because he was fake on me, like, not really, but like really, like, like, his head was like above my shoulder, like he wasn't like really on me for real, but he kind of was. Anyway, so boom, so he was asleep. So we're gonna fast forward. So the plane land, blah blah blah, people waking up, mind you. So Maya was sitting in the rows behind us. So guess what Maya gonna do? So she seen us. I'm not gonna say we was flirting, but he was flirting with me, like, and she seen it, like, stuff like that, and heard it and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure like all of them did, but it was nothing serious, because everybody knows that's how he is. So the plane finna land and stuff like that. I'm sitting here trying to wake him up. I'm like, get up, like, the plane is landing, like, we finna get off and stuff like that. Maya gets up before us, and when she gets up, she do one of these, like, she get up and like do like a, and went like that. So she had seen us, because I had seen her look at us, and she did like she tried not to make it seem like she looked at us, like, when someone catch you staring and you try to look away, that's the kind of thing she did. So she had saw me look at her, and then she did one of these and looked down. And I know she had told the girl next to her, which she don't need a name, but we also knew her, like, everybody knew her, we was cool and stuff like that. So the girl looked at me and just did, like, when somebody look at you, just do a little, that's what she did. That's what she did with me. And in my head, I'm so irritated, because I hate first of all, I hate people in my business. Let's start there. And then it was just, I know she told her something that we was doing, like, basically I know she told her something that didn't happen. Like, not to say she lied on me, but like, the way I know it looked bad, it did look bad, but it wasn't nothing to report. So we're gonna fast forward. We get to school and stuff like that. It was late at night. I believe it was like, I don't know when we got back, maybe a Saturday, and we had school that Monday. So boom, fast forward. So I get to school on Monday. Oh my god, this battery's dying too, so I'm just gonna hurry up and finish. So we get to school on Monday, and Dallas approached me, and I know Maya had told her, and Dallas is just like, hey, like, do you like my boyfriend, stuff like that, like, basically asking me, do I like her mans? I'm just like, I don't like your mans. And I remember I was like, what? Like, I was like, no. And like, we were both laughing. She was like, like, oh, okay. Like, I was just asking, like, because like, yeah, that's what she did. She was like, because like, yeah, like, like, you guys, like, I don't know, look like you guys flirt and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I don't like him. Basically, that's like the end of the story. I know the story wasn't really nothing, but I mean, it was just a story to tell because I thought it was funny still to this day. Like, it was just like, girl, it was really not that deep. But anyway, so thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I should have said in the beginning of the video, but if you made it to the end, make sure you like this video, and yeah, I'm gonna say subscribe again in case you didn't hear me the first time. All right, now my battery's finna die. Bye.
Them slick girls could get every time. Them slick girls get me.